start the recording. So yeah, I'm still trying to get those videos to play, but I can't get the audio off of them. So, and that screws me up for what I'm gonna do today. But yeah, you look good.
Good as I can look, I guess.
Yeah. What's the weather like now? Kent said that there was 57 inches up in Netherton where he used to live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's about 70 right now. And
it's a
the
lot.
snow's all but gone.
Oh, wow. Do you guys have a lot of rain runoff then? Do you have a lot of flooding?
Well, not much. We got a lot of reservoirs that take care of that.
Yeah, that's good.
But the runoff usually doesn't present a problem.
Because that was a lot of snow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But we got one way down south called Cherry Creek Reservoir. Oh, it's a hell of a lot of water.
That's good. You won't run out then.
And some of it's diverted up into a couple towns in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the old days, we should have put this picture on the billboard coming into town.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Especially if you're going to get the eyes to wiggle back and forth. That would have done it.
Is Barry going to be with us today?
Well, I don't know. He's usually here early.
Yeah. Here he comes right now. Let's leave it up until he takes a look at it. He shows see his face, but I mean his name, but I don't see his face yet. He don't have his mic on. There he is.
Hi, Barry.
Hey, Barry.
What's up, y'all? Well, look at that
Hello,
picture.
Barry. Scary, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill thinks
I
that's
sent
what
that
you-
out last night. Somebody was asking about you follow his mustache on Facebook. So I sent that picture and another one, the exterior picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, Billy thinks that should have been on the billboard.
Yeah, coming into town. We should have had that on the billboard.
Yeah. I think that was at Carnegie.
Yeah, that was a still frame off one of my videos when I was going around from the tables. That was in Carnegie after the concert when we were up there and the band was playing.
I got you.
Well, y'all are frozen, so you probably didn't hear me.
No, we heard you fine.
What'd
Okay.
you say, David?
Hey, Barry, how's it going?
Good. Snake and
Hey.
Tom.
Hey, Barry. Good to see you.
Yeah, I almost forgot, man. I was doing something else. I looked at the clock. I said, "Oh man, today's Zoom day." That was
Hey,
like
I want-
4 minutes ago.
I want you to tell me what you and Kim were talking about last week. It was something musical about somebody who could hold a note or play a note and then get a second note and a third note, and he could harmonize it and all this kind of stuff.
That was Neil Tidwell on the tuba they were talking
Neil
about.
Tidwell could play a line on the tuba. He used to do it in If I Were a Rich Man. And he would play a note. And at the same time, while he's playing a note and blowing into it, it was coming out of his tuba, he would sing through the mouthpiece. And you could hear his voice harmonizing with the note and even moving at the same time. And if it was the right note, the right temperature, everything, the what do you call the enharmonics of the instrument would play another note that would harmonize with it. So he'd be playing three notes at once.
Dang, sounds magical.
It is magical. That is something that not too many people can do.
Yeah.
Because you got to get everything perfect, and he had that down.
Yeah, he
What
died
was
at
that?
a young age.
Probably doing one of those things.
I don't know about that.
What was the last part that you said about the inharmonics of the instrument?
Yeah, the enharmonics. In other words, a note you hear, like when Snake and I play on our banjo, a note on a banjo, that let's say you're playing a C, you hit a C note. Well, if you just put your finger lightly on the string and hit it, an enharmonic note will come out. It might be a G,
Hmm, okay.
which is the C. The tone C is built of C and E and G, so a G will come out. If you do it, if you just touch it lightly, you know what I'm talking about, Snake, huh? Yeah.
I just like it. It sounds almost poetic. I mean, about playing a note, singing in the note that Matt and all that. Yeah, just
Then another note, that was the trick to get the enharmonics to come out.
Hmm.
No, that's the real trick. Oh, look at this.
Oh, yeah. Bruce Melanson,
Karen Ellie,
Karen Ellie, and I don't know who the
Johnny
other guy.
Fowler,
Who is that?
Johnny Fowler.
Oh, okay.
Who's the gal?
So it's Johnny Fowler, Bruce Melanson, and some pretty girl.
That was Karen.
Well, that's
Karen.
Karen.
Yeah, Karen.
Karen Ellie.
Yeah, she's actually. I went to high school. She went to a different high school, but she was good friends of mine from before we worked at the Mustache, and I even took her. I took her to my junior senior prom. You know, when I was at
all
school.
right.
Yeah. It actually was kind of weird because she was one of my friend's younger sister. So, but she was pretty, and but she ended up marrying Ed, and we're all still good friends. I stay in touch with them sometimes on calling her. They come to town sometime. They live out in Colorado also, Grand Junction.
Oh, way up in high country.
Yeah,
And Bruce no longer goes by the name of Bruce.
yeah, he's Philip.
He's Philip.
Yeah,
And he's quite successful around town doing the piano bar.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. I need to go sometime and catch him. That'd be fun.
He used to have his own little club called the Neutral Ground Cafe, but he doesn't have that anymore. But he still plays a lot of the little lounges around town.
Right. Well, the nicer ones, the last time I saw him live, he was at the Pontchartrain
Hmm.
Hotel,
Yeah, that's a nice one.
which is very nice.
Yeah.
And I had my family with my mother and father and wife, and we ate across the street at Mr. John's Steakhouse, which is very good.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
And we were celebrating a birthday or an anniversary or something. So we walked across the street to the Pontchartrain Hotel, and
Right.
there was Bruce or Philip, and
Mhm.
they're playing. So I sang a couple of songs with him. It was a lot of fun, and we reminisced about the mustache days.
Well, Tom, you remember that first condo that you and Emily were doing timeshare with? Tom,
The
you remember
one.
that first condo in St. Charles you and Emily had a timeshare
Oh,
in?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That Mr. John's restaurant is down in the ground floor of that hotel.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
it was right
remember
there.
that. Is the Pontchartrain Hotel right there?
Yeah, it's right across the street. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Across the side street,
Yeah.
not St. Charles.
Hey,
the side-
Chris.
Hey,
Chris.
how you doing, guys?
Oh, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
there-
can hear you.
Yeah,
You're
we
just
see you.
frozen.
Hear you? Yeah.
You're not moving.
Hey,
Hmm.
I got some bad news yesterday, or kind of bad news. Our friend,
Hey, Rick.
Hey, guys.
Your
Hey,
friend.
Rick.
our friend Bruce O'Neill had a stroke.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, he had a stroke, but you wouldn't be able to tell it. But what happened? He was on a job playing at Commander's Palace. He kept forgetting chords to songs
Oh,
and all that. And they said, "You need to see a doctor." He went in and they did a couple of CTs or scans or whatever you call them. And he's got damage to the front of his brain. He had a minor stroke, a TIA thing.
mhm.
Wow.
So that's a shame.
Sometimes you bounce back from that if they catch it quick enough, you know.
I did. I had a
I
stroke.
did.
Yeah.
I had a minor one.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is he in the hospital or
No, he's home.
he's home? Oh, okay. Oh,
The caption to this one I had was a birthday party at the Brooklyn Bridge. So, I mean, I recognize Banu and
Christine.
You and Christine.
yeah. The other ones I'm not sure about.
I'm trying to read what high school that is. I can't.
Tottenville, Tottenville.
Oh, okay. A famous one.
Yeah, yeah. St. Aug, right? Okay.
Right. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Just throwing up some old pictures we hadn't seen in a while.
Yep.
Jim might
Yeah.
remember people in that picture. I guess I should show it.
Yes. Give him a chance to.
Yeah. Get back there. Let me see if it's still there. See if it'll pop up. I don't see it. So I'm not sure what happened. Stop share. Okay. I think I have to load it again to get it to
Okay, well,
work.
here's another one.
Again,
Say again.
Hey, Jim.
Hi there.
Again,
Again,
Oh, that's an oldie.
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So it's Benu and Christine. I don't know who the other people are.
I knew a Christine, Bob Adams right next to Christine, Buzzy in the back.
Buzzy in the back, yep.
Buzzy's Banu's husband.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who,
Yep.
who are the other two guys?
Can't remember their names.
Weird. Yeah.
It says Bob Bouchins, Banu,
Bob
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 Muncie,
Balkins is the
He's a
guy with the
tuba-
beard,
and
he's a
Bob
tuba
Muncie.
player.
and Bob Muncie was the road guy,
Okay.
manager.
Okay.
All right.
Balkins was a tuba player.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
I saw him in Chicago.
I remember y'all telling a lot of stories, but about Christine and Bob Adams. Were they ever married, or they were just were an item?
They were an item for a long time. It was like
An
they were,
item. Yeah, just an item, that's all.
but they lived together for years. They were, an item, but maybe even a little further than an item.
That was goddamn Christine, wasn't it?
wow.
It's a shame Christine never got back on with us.
My favorite story, I've told this many times on this platform, was when I went with the show band and Bob and Christine were on the bandstand. I thought Christine's name was "Goddamn it, Christine," because that's all Bob said. "God damn it, Christine! God damn it, Christine!"
They can make a song out of that one.
Damn it.
It's kind of like Good Night Ladies, but different.
God damn it, Christine.
Here's an old one. Let's see.
An oldie. Seen that one before.
Speaking of old show band pictures.
Banu.
Who is that delightful lady behind Sonny? My goodness. Ooh-wee. Where
That's
the hell
my
was
mom.
where the hell was she when I was growing up? My goodness. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's,
Well, she looked dressed for the occasion. She got a flapper outfit on.
mhm.
yeah, she certainly fills it out nicely, I'll tell you.
I don't recognize anybody except for Sonny.
Isn't that Banu in the front?
Yeah,
News up front.
Brand new. in the
Might
front.
be Manu, yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Christine, is that Christine standing next to the banjo player?
Yeah, Dave Weibel.
No, Dave Weibel, that's way before his time.
The guy on the right was I'm trying to think of his name. He played in New York for a while.
Walt.
Walt, that's
something.
it. Walt, good for you. Walt, what? Can you finish it?
Walt does something.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Walter Hart.
Walt, good for you, man. That was right.
Wow.
Spot
And-
on, man. Wow, these young guys still got their memory. It's wonderful.
The blonde banjo player. Could that be Johnny Ford?
No, Johnny was short.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Oh, well,
He's
about the
holding it.
There's a washboard player way in the back, it looks like, the one
Yeah,
who's.
it looks,
Yeah,
looks like it could be a girl. It's hard to tell.
Hmm.
I think it is.
But the trombone, how about the trombone player with the plaid shorts or the checkered shorts?
That's Sonny.
Sonny.
That's Sonny. Okay. All right.
Huh. I like these old pictures. That's interesting.
Too bad. I just all I have on my, because I put it up. There's one McLaren sent this a long time ago. I wish they had details on them, but let me see.
That's our job to figure that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. One day when nobody remembers anybody who's in any of the pictures.
then we won't remember to get together.
Yeah.
That's Bennu doing Mother.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotta be sure.
yeah. She had to be careful with that H, huh?
Yeah.
M is for the motels that we stayed in.
Yeah.
O is for the other times we tried. T is for the times that we had there. L is for the H we raised inside, etc.
Yeah. 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 So you're coming in a couple of weeks, Chris?
Yeah, I'll be there. April
7th to
4th,
11th.
5th, and 7th, 8th, and 9th. Yeah.
7th, 8th, 9th. Okay. I thought
You're
for some
making-
reason it was still the 11th, but that's okay.
You're making me jealous.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the 8th, 9th, 10th. It's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
7th,
I
8th,
should
9th,
get,
10th. Yeah, I think it's 7th through 10th, something like that. I remember something about the 7th, but anyway.
Yeah,
First Quarter Fest is 11th through the 14th, so it must be
Oh,
the
it's-
Right.
it's the 7th through the 10th.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm planning to hook up with you. I didn't tell anybody last week, but on the 11th, 2 weeks ago, Monday, we brought my father-in-law home on hospice. So Bonnie and I've been very occupied with that.
Come on.
sorry to hear it, Bill.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you know, you never know how long it's gonna last, you know, but been busy.
No, you don't know how it's gonna last. It's kind of mysterious, really.
So I'd done it with my dad and my mom, so theirs was pretty quick, but you know, Louis, you know, don't know. You know, so we'll see.
So Bonnie was praying for him.
Yeah, I will. So I don't remember this picture. Let's see.
No.
I can't.
That's Joan. That's Joan, but all the others I can't identify.
Well, it looks like, you know, English helmets, so they must have.
It looks like pith helmets, like hunters or safari or something, or maybe World War I British helmets,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They
which
are.
didn't seem to do much good
Yeah.
unless you're trying to throw it on top of a hand grenade.
Yeah, right.
So I said, well, I recognize Joan. Maybe she needs to get on so she can tell us who these guys are.
I
The
think
guy in the back on the right almost looks like Alan Carey, but it's probably not him.
Yeah, a little bit, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you saw the two of them together, you wouldn't confuse them, but he does look a little bit like him.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen Alan in a month of Sundays, huh?
Well, you consider yourself fortunate.
Well,
I wonder if he's still around. I don't know. He was kind of a frail guy. I wonder if he's still around.
Oh,
I don't
he
know.
is. Yeah, he
yeah.
lives in Manhattan.
Always has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lives in the same place, as a matter of fact, that he always has.
90-something street, as I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know Joan back in the early days, but she looks like she was a hottie.
He
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Very, very pretty one.
But from what she said, she had 3 kids at this point. Because she said her kids were up. I don't know where it was, but they were up in the upstairs.
Watching, yeah.
Yeah, right.
In Cape Cod, she said, yeah.
Yeah.
But she was on a lot of stuff with Joel. So I got a lot of pictures of her with
Hey,
him.
Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Howdy, Mike.
Hi, guys.
Mike,
How are you?
Hey, Mike. Mike, I'm glad to see you because I was talking to Kent yesterday, and he was reminding me of when we went to Colorado and stayed with you. And and he was telling me that I didn't know about this, but when we were one day when we were working at the Denver club, was Bob Hall the manager?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, Kent said that some people came in and pissed him off really bad. And then they wanted a pitcher of beer, so he filled it halfway up with beer and pissed in the rest of it and
Ooh.
served it
Well,
to him.
Bob was kind of notorious for doing that, not very often, but there was one St. Patty's Day. It was just busier than hell after the
Probably
parade.
edit
We
this
were all
out.
in there going crazy. Behind the bar, there was a little storage area closet underneath the stairs going to the second floor. So Bob took a picture and pissed in it. He couldn't get to the restroom, so I knew what he did. So I took the picture and broke it, and the son of a bitch charged me $250 for it to replace the picture.
Sweet golden nectar Schlitz beer.
You what?
Sweet golden nectar Schlitz beer.
Yeah,
Lordy.
that was the first version of light beer, Schlitz Light.
Yeah, I'm just proposing, since this gets broadcast, kind of like maybe we shouldn't have everybody in the world know about that, you know?
Roger used to put a big head on it, so.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Hey,
Well, maybe somebody that's here now can tell me who some of these people are. I see Banu and Christine, but
Isn't that West Mix on the right?
That's who I
Looks like it might be.
Yeah.
Oh, West Mix, yeah, that's.
And that's
Mark-
Mark Heater on the left. The banjo player down there is probably Bob Adams, but
I would think it might be.
you
Yeah.
can't see him, so it must be.
the only caption I had on this was like birthday party for the Brooklyn Bridge. So I don't know.
Oh, that was a party and a half, man. I played. I was playing for a gig for the Smith Street on that one. That was the most marvelous fireworks display I've ever seen in my life. We were on a barge in the middle of the East River. Smile.
Wow.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, I was in an apartment that had a balcony looking out over the East River.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because we had done a documentary with Ken Burns on the Brooklyn Bridge, so he got invitations for all of us to these parties.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Hey, Mike.
A lot of people.
hello, Oh, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Howdy, how y'all?
What's up, Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
Mr. Barry. What's going on?
Hey, Mike.
Here we are.
Hello, hey, how you doing? Let me
Good.
see. Let's see. I want to do.
Here we have our friend Jeff.
That was at where the roller coaster was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. All right.
Lake Comp House.
Lake Comp House up in Bristol. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff was always so tickled the fact that he could ride on that thing as many times as he wanted every time he went there.
That's right. That's right. He loved it. You know that place is about a mile from the ESPN headquarters. You know that?
No.
Bristol, Connecticut is the home of ESPN.
Right.
And this is about a mile and a half down the same road. You have to go right by in order to get there. Yeah.
Jeff's wife sent me a nice thank you note because she saw the posting of the talk from last week, and we had featured Jeff in some of those.
Oh yeah.
How nice.
What does she think about his requiem for a penis?
I didn't ask her anything specific.
Yeah.
Hey, she couldn't live with him all those years and not know what he was up to.
Yeah.
Wow.
I tell you what, Mike, you get a job playing Santa Claus at
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, ho,
Yeah.
little girl.
Between
Yeah.
you
David.
and Steak, y'all having a lot of facial hair going there.
I'm telling you, I'm just for no reason. Haven't been this long since we used to play Keystone up in the mountains. My
Yeah.
hair was long. We used to play the ski areas.
Oh,
That's from the New Orleans club, Joe Mullane and John Stacy,
Yeah.
Okay.
July 71. So that was not long after I started.
yeah, they were there when I started. They were the guys that were
Mhm.
key
They were-
waiters.
Yeah, they were both great waiters too. They were a lot of fun to be around.
Oh yeah, Joe was a good guy. He ended up
Yeah.
playing bass with Vince Vance. The Valiants.
Really
Mhm.
interesting.
He was in a movie about the killer bees when they invaded the Superdome. Or
That was really-
remember, that's what it really
I
was. He was-
remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that movie. Only movie he ever made, I think. But he was a hotel desk clerk.
Yeah. The killer bees.
The
And
killer
what they
bees.
did to chill the bees, they drove the car that all of them were on inside the Superdome and managed to get the temperature down far enough to
Yeah.
freeze the bees.
Oh, really?
You know how fictional that is. It was like,
Oh yeah,
What?
right.
yeah, it was a crazy movie.
Yeah.
It's fun watching these kind of movies because you see them, all the sights from New Orleans, but you know when these people are driving, like they might be on St. Charles Avenue, and then they turn onto Esplanade, and then they're like somewhere else, and you say those streets don't even connect to each other.
Yeah.
The people
Yeah.
from outside the world, they know that these scenes are from New Orleans, so they just make it look like it's one little short
Yeah.
drive, you know. So anyway, yeah. Let's see.
Here's one from, I know you guys know who Christine and Banu and stuff, but I don't know where it would be.
Bob Adams.
This must have been an outside job.
Oh, quite. The New York City Police Department, huh? Well, okay.
That's Buzzy on banjo too, huh, I guess.
Who's on the
No.
tube?
No, the band
No.
is Hoyt.
Hoyt, okay.
Really? What was his name?
Hoyt Corey or something like that.
Oh, I never knew him.
Yeah. He was the side player right before me.
Who's the tuba player, Barry?
I think his name is we had a picture of him earlier, Balkans.
Bob,
Bob Balkins?
Hmm.
He's from Chicago, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a friend of Bill Clark's.
I saw him in Chicago, but
Man, I used to have to wear those knickers.
You still have them?
No, I don't have them, but that dress Christine is wearing, it was gold and black.
Oh yeah.
It was her favorite outfit. She wore it just about every gig.
Hmm.
Gold and black skirt, mini skirt. That was a mini skirt back then in the 70s.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's pretty much a mini skirt today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. You gotta have some good legs to wear that. Well, let's put it this way, it helps.
Danny used to call her Legs Bendinger.
Well, it pays to advertise.
was she a good trombone player?
She was good enough. What she couldn't do musically, she made up with her legs.
She wasn't a great player, but she was a better player than people give her credit for.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah, she was. We had a good time together. It was fun. I think I mentioned before that she and I and Bobby Stewart had a trio. We worked about a year or so. We had probably 10 gigs, but not many, but it was fun.
But once she got something down, it was down. In other words,
Oh yeah. Oh sure.
yeah.
She could master a routine for sure. That she was a natural for the show band.
Well, I only met her, I mean, on the Zoom, and she seems real perky even then. So I imagine on stage she came across very lively.
He was.
Sure.
All right. Bob Adams, man.
Rest his soul. Fun guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He knew a million off the wall tunes, Kim.
Yes, yes, he did.
Way out there, and they were all appropriate. He all knew all the words and verses and shit.
He used to like to sing that song, Put All Your Faith in a Pill. Remember
Jeez, no, really.
that? Yeah.
Oh,
We
my
did that a couple of times with the show band, but
He
I
was
remember.
my first full-time band leader. Bob Adams.
Yeah.
Then I had Les Davies and then Mike Gentry, and that's it went downhill from there.
It's been continuing ever since. So Bob was a waiter also with Red Garter in New Orleans. Bob Adams.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Didn't know
I
that
never
either.
knew that.
Hey, Ira.
Hey, Ira.
Hey,
Hey,
is that Hoyt Corey on the left?
Yeah, Hoyt Corey.
Yeah. I didn't know Bob was a waiter.
Yeah,
Not at the Mustache, at the Red Garter.
Yeah, but I never knew that.
So was Barry. He was a
Barry,
weren't you
when I first started working with Barry, he was a waiter just before you must have come in just before you headed off to be in a show band.
I got there in 70. 1970 was my first year, but just summertime.
Right. Yeah, I started February 71. And I remember you came in and no, you're a lot of fun, but it was just before you started. You were strictly a waiter when I started. And
Right.
you went off with the show band, you disappeared. So
Right.
Boy, we just missed each other. I left after the end of '69.
Hmm.
well, Tom disappeared. So he's not going to change the picture, I don't guess.
Yeah, I would guess to say this photo is spring of 72.
Yeah. I might be able to interrupt the picture if I can get to the, let's say, I don't know if I can or not.
Well, 72, Barry, because I took over the show band in October of 72.
Oh, October. That's right.
October 72.
I was with them summer of 72.
Right.
And this
So
was
this
right
had to be-
before me. This was the lineup right before me.
I was going to say it's earlier than 72, isn't it?
That's
Or
right.
that is
Spring of 72.
it?
This is spring of 72. I had it summer 72. You had it fall in the winter of 72.
Right. Then came to New Orleans and Christmas time. Didn't take over until after the first year. Yes, yes.
And I remember I was the temporary band leader in between when we were waiting for you, Mike.
Yeah.
And the first night you walked in, I know I'm the band leader. I wasn't ready for it. And you sat down there with a pitcher of beer and looked at me. I said, "Oh shit, this is my new boss." This is my new boss, and here I am up here sounding like shit.
It sounded great, man. Yes, we were the Mustache, as many good players that there were, Gim for one, and it was the old dazzle and baffle thing though, man. If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, you baffle them with bullshit.
Yeah.
And that was the Mustache, man. You know, there are a lot of people who couldn't play 3 notes in a row, but get up there, smile, and bounce around and do whatever. And the people loved them, and they didn't know they couldn't play.
That's right. That's still true, by the way.
Yeah, it's getting more and more true every day.
And I'll tell you, this sounds like ego talking right now, so y'all forgive me. But when I was playing at the Red Garter in Wildwood, of which Mike would be my substitute when I had to go to school, but they would run two bands a night. You play an hour on and an hour off.
That's right.
And the first year, the guy that led the band opposite me was the wonderful, great Ronnie Bill. He was
Come
terrific,
on.
terrific.
Ronnie Bill, yeah.
I wasn't even close to him, not even close. It was like two different instruments. But Jimmy Kane, the owner, would say, "Well, yeah, we sell more beer with you guys.
Interesting, sure.
Yep.
Sell more beer with jumping up and down and drinking beer and cutting up."
If you can crank up the audience, they get thirsty. Off you go.
Yeah. What people don't realize or remember that most people, when they go to a place like the Mustache, the Red Guard, or whatever, they're not hearing the music with their ears. They're hearing it with their eyes.
Yeah.
And what they're seeing is going to last more than the music, which is too bad for great musicians like Ronnie Bill and Jim and the other people. But hey, whatever worked, it worked.
Yeah, but that still helps the whole group when you have a good band up there. It
Sure.
needed the whole program, obviously, the red walls and the ceiling fans and the waiters and the bartenders. Everybody just had a job they were supposed to do. And if everyone did it, that's why we were successful. A lot of people tried to copy the Mustache, but they didn't understand the whole concept of it.
Well, they try and copy the band, or they try and copy the motif or whatever. And yeah, Roger, you're right. The Mustache was the whole package. The whole package. Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
had to
you're
be a
right,
good,
Mike. It was a whole complete combination of so many different things that made the whole night successful for people.
Our intention was for have people walking out at the end of the night, not saying the waiters were good, the band was good, whatever. Walking out and say, hey, we had a good time.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the bottom line right there.
Yep.
you had to have a certain personality also to enjoy your father's mustache as a team member. I mean, if you couldn't get into the ball game, you couldn't handle the environment.
I don't know if they did it in other clubs, but in Denver, we had to work 3 nights free to see if we fit in with the gang and the rest of the crew. And Sacco thought I was too crazy and he didn't want to hire me, but Ronnie Fuller talked him into it. And here we are 50, 60 years later, with 3 free nights to see if you fit in.
I think some of them must have got past that third night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
a few of us got past the third night.
No.
Well,
we
you
didn't
got-
do that
you
in
gotta-
New Orleans, but usually if you didn't fit in, it was pretty obvious quickly, though. You know,
It showed up right away.
yeah.
Well,
That'd be against the law.
The law, you say the law?
Of course, it wasn't exactly the same as working free, but when you started at the Mustache in New Orleans, at least you got the table under the moose head where all the waiters put their girlfriends, you know. So
Oh, yeah.
you were learning, but you weren't making any money, you know. So it was like,
Money? Did you say money?
yeah. I'm not saying nothing
No, we
about
did this for fun.
Well, as regards musicianship in the band and what the band should be doing, I remember that Joel would say on occasion, remember, gentlemen, you're not here to make jazz history, you're here to sell beer.
Well, we did a good job of that.
That kind of sums it up, doesn't it?
You know, Bruce Wilson, everybody knows Bruce Wilson, I think.
Yeah.
Or he and Barry were talking one time, and he wanted to know what Barry's job was. Barry's working at Fritzel's because Bruce trying to be a good band leader. You know, Barry is a good band leader. He was talking, and Barry, what is your job? It's to lead the band, and Bruce thought it was to lead the band and make the music and everything. Barry says, no, the band is there. It's part of the tools. It's part of the tools. He says, my job as a band leader was to get people to come in, stay, and then come back again. That's all it was. And the band was part of it. The music was part of it. The beer was part of it. The ambiance, the waiters, etc. But we had in Denver, I bet 75% of our audience, a good 75% was repeats.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mike.
And then in New Orleans, it's just the opposite because you had 75 or more just walk by people that want to come in and have a good time.
Right on
We're
purpose.
sending more tourists in New Orleans, Lerma Square.
Oh, yeah.
But
The
the
secret
thing
to
in
the,
Denver, you could do things in Denver, Mike, you remember this? You have some of your favorite customers that come in and you play their song for them right away
Yeah.
before they get set down.
Mhm.
yeah, but also the secret to
That
to
makes
New
you 20
Orleans.
or 30 bucks right there.
The New Orleans Club catered to the community also. We're involved in all sorts of activities, involved with the police force, archdiocese, the orphanage.
We raised money for
We were,
different.
and it was it was the locals who brought their friends in that kept that place going also. Because and that there is wasn't a big convention in town. You had to have local people to come down and help your club go, and we were very strong with the local people there.
It was the same in Denver, Roger, where we used to, we got along with the police department really well, and especially individual cops. And it was funny, they'd have a new girlfriend or new date and they'd bring her in the mustache and say, do temptation. And,
Yeah.
and stuff, but we had a regular route among the motels and stuff where we'd go out and visit them once every couple of weeks and drop off free passes for their guests or discount passes and things. But it was very actively involved with the community and the basketball teams and whoever was going on there.
Yeah, all of our clubs were
We
big.
played for the hockey team too. Remember
Yeah,
that? Played for the hockey
most all the
team.
clubs played for sports teams. We played in the Yankee Stadium, you know, and
Oh yeah.
in Boston. And we
Yeah.
played up in when the Saints first came. We played up there, and that's what made it so good. We were part of the community, real strong part of the community.
Well, David and
Absolutely.
Roger, y'all might remember we would let people in free too if they came down wearing their hat. Instead of
Yeah.
me walking down Bourbon Street wearing your father's mustache hats, which is that
Yeah.
like free advertising, and we'd let them in free if they had their hat on, you know. So
Hey,
Oh,
Mike,
we had all the tools,
Yeah.
walking billboards with the people with their hats, carrying the mustache up before you put them in the then you had to put them in a container because there was so much glass on the street. But where'd you get that hat? You know, and
yeah.
people love to bring someone else to the club if they've already been in there. Oh,
Yeah.
I know that waiter, whatever. So it made it a real tight family, I think.
hmm
It was.
You know, last week I tried to get on. I couldn't get on. And I remember when I moved down here to Arizona, they said, Roger, you have returned to the wild, wild west. I said, okay. It hit me. I'm not on daylight savings times. So I got on it.
Oh, yeah, I know. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arizona
What
doesn't do
the
daylight
hell's-
savings time. I remember that. Yeah.
Where's everybody? I couldn't tell where'd they go.
hey, Mike, were you still in Denver when we did that halftime show with the Denver Broncos? You
No,
Remember that? Okay.
that wasn't the one that Robin Williams came out and did with the cheerleaders, was it? Robin Williams, when he was doing Mork and Mindy up in Boulder,
Mhm.
he
Oh, yeah.
came and did dancing with the Denver cheerleaders with the Denver Broncos. Crazy.
I've
man.
got pictures somewhere of the Broncos halftime show. I'll scan them and get them to Bill and Tom here pretty soon. I keep meaning to do that and get sidetracked.
That would be a scream, yeah.
Well, here's some of
Oh,
Roger's
yeah.
pictures from today, if I can find it.
I like Russell Wilson went to Denver, didn't last very long.
That's the 25th reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first reunion, yeah.
So what are you getting those off of a screen, Roger?
That looks like a
This
screen
one,
grab.
Yeah.
I search for things online sometimes.
Okay.
I still have a couple. So I found this one online. So I was in a hurry, so I just took a picture of it.
Oh, you just took a picture of
Was
it.
it Ira on the end? Little Ira on the end? Barry, me, Joel.
We're all the way on the right?
Yeah. Playing
I
Washington.
thought that was Peter.
That's
I think it
Babcock
is.
on the right.
I think that's
Is
Peter
it?
Babcock.
No,
Yeah.
he's
Peter,
talking to the
Barry,
right
Mike,
of Peter.
Joe.
I can't tell.
Well, from left to right, it's Joel, Mike, Barry, and Babcock.
Yeah, that's who I think it is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it is.
Huh.
Clean shaven Mike Gentry.
What did I do?
Clean cut boy.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Disney.
Hey, Chris, how are you doing, man? There he is.
He's back.
We lose you, Chris?
No, I was just doing some exercises.
Oh.
Be careful. Be
Uh,
careful now.
Not cooking.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself, man.
No danger.
Okay, so here's
Snake, you need to
Right.
transplant some of that hair. man.
Wow.
That's Brian Wallace. A lot of you
Well-
might not know Brian. He was out of Boston. He was a tough guy.
That isn't, I don't think that's Brian Wallace, is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Oh,
Kim, you knew him, right?
Oh, yeah, he was a school teacher.
Oh, yeah, he was a character, man.
Oh, yeah.
He was a storybook out of Boston.
Our resident tough guy was Bob Osborne.
Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Well, one
Osborne.
thing you can say about the Mustache nightclubs, there were a hell of a lot of characters went through that, all those joints over the history of the clubs.
What was the guy's first name?
Well,
Flegel. What was his first name? Remember Flegel?
Oh, Jimmy Flegel?
Jim Flegel, yes.
Yeah, last I heard from him was about 15, 20 years ago. He was teaching at Boise State University in Idaho, and I don't know where he is now. He was a cool guy.
Yep. We had a bunch of people come in from the fraternities.
Yeah, from
Oh.
SAE at DU, like Neil Hilliard and Steve Small and
Right.
and a bunch of them.
What-
Neil Hilliard was almost killed in a motorcycle accident in Germany a few years ago. And
Whatever happened to Weird Harold?
he's still around. I
Is
haven't
he?
heard from him in a long time, but I hear some things about them, Tall Jerry and Weird Harold and well, a bunch of those guys from time to time. I contacted them all for 87 and for Carnegie, but nobody wanted to go.
It's too bad.
Mike, are
Yes.
you playing anywhere now?
What?
Mike?
No. No. Me, Gentry?
Gentry.
No, I'm not playing anywhere. That last gig I played was with Barry and Danny and Gene Roof.
oh.
Who was this lady with Joel at the
Well, I
reunion?
don't know who that is.
no,
She came
no
up to
idea.
do one of the stories, but I don't know who it was.
no idea.
Well, they seem to smile at each other pretty well.
Is
Yeah.
that Carnegie?
This
Must
was
be
a
the deep
Carnegie,
secrets.
not people
I
came
think
up and
so.
did little stories with Joel. This was a
Yeah.
picture from that, and I don't remember her name or what her story was, but you know.
No.
He
Yeah.
looks like a good face sitter.
I beg your pardon.
You're right.
Ah,
Oh well, I just throw it out there. I didn't know who that was.
No.
I've got
Okay.
got a little video clip from Joel welcoming everybody to come tell their little stories at the beginning of the upstairs meeting. Let's see, it's kind of short. I'm gonna get that. Let's see. Joel's introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen. Give me a long speech. Because what I want to hear tonight are your stories. Wait. Never told me these when I was around. I've heard them with extraordinary things. Frankly, I'm dismayed with your behavior. So where's Barry? Barry here? Barry Fuller? Barry. Oh yeah. Barry. Barry. Front and center. Barry. I got it. Very shy. He's very shy. Joe, what's the song about? Joel, I'll take his place. Barry, you're doing here. Too much hair, Barry. Too much hair. Barry, he wants to know who shaved your head. He wants to get one of his clothes. I didn't call you to come up here. Anyway, this was your idea. You already sent me an email, you may have forgotten because you sent some goddamn
Okay.
email. You asked me to say a few words about your father's mustache from my perspective. But I don't want to drag that on because I don't find the story. You may not be, but I am. But I want to hear from each of you. I've talked to each of you, you all said, boy, do I have some stories. So I want to hear what the goddamn stories are. I think that'll be a lot more fun than my stories because you're all in your best behavior around as well.
Bullshit.
That was in the
house for Annie Smith.
Just some background. I got this idea when I was in the hospital. Of course, I'm always in the hospital.
In Cuba, too.
I've had a lot of good ideas in the hospital, which I forget. But this one I didn't forget. I said, what can I do to enjoy my stay in the ICU for 5 weeks? And I sat there thinking, and this idea came out of the blue, out of the dark of the night, that we should have a reunion at Carnegie Hall. So out of that little German idea, which I think was in 1910.
2010. It was in January 2010.
2010.
January.
Just 1 century later.
3 a.m.
Anyway, when I got out of the hospital, I had a meeting here in New York. About 8 or 10 people came. Maybe 12 or 14. I met Joe Cicala for the first time. I did. He dismissed him as an imposter. What does he know about your father's birthday? Anyway, we went on from there. 2 months later, I got emails from a number of people here who are not named, because they'll be embarrassed, saying this was a stupid idea. It'll never work, never draw any people. Well, why didn't I have a smaller event in my house? So nonetheless, I persisted, and here we are, and
It's sold out.
That's right.
Okay.
That was good.
Yeah,
That was cool.
that was a little precursor to all the talks. I have every one of the speeches that anybody gave to Joel is on that video that's on in my website that I sent y'all. I mean, on my Google Drive that I sent y'all a link, or Tom sent the link out a few weeks ago. But yeah, they have the whole video that has everything that I had shot pretty much from the whole Carnegie Hall thing. So
There's a lot,
yeah,
that link. A lot of good stuff on that link. Check it
yeah.
out. A lot of pictures.
Yeah.
Guys, see y'all next week.
Okay.
Oh, good night, Rick.
See you, Rick.
Uh,
Take care.
You guys.
Take care, Rick.
Hello.
Tell hi to Sandra.
People are jumping around. Wow.
All right, well, here's another one of Joe Terra.
I think that's the picture that was up in Carnegie.
You don't see too many pictures with Joe with a jacket on.
No.
You know, I was thinking musically at Mustache, and I guess most of the banjo clubs of the 60s was a formula. Oh, look at this.
Where was this?
That's Vancouver, British Columbia.
It's not New York.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving feast, all you can eat, $3.
We had a great chef there.
Yeah,
could-
Russ Adams.
No, not in Vancouver. He was a local person, but he made the best fried chicken you could ever imagine. And he would never tell me his whole recipe. Now their Thanksgiving Day feast is another day than ours, so.
Well, yeah, what is Thanksgiving in Canada? I mean,
In October, I think.
October
Yeah.
11th.
Hmm.
That's what that sign said.
was it the same basis, like with the pilgrims, like dying of starvation and Indians came fed them?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
When I was in France, I worked a lot with a bunch of British guys. And one time Thanksgiving was coming up, and I said, we're going to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday. And I said, geez, you guys don't have Thanksgiving in England, do you? He says, oh, of course we do. I said, oh, really? When is it? It's July 4th.
That's funny.
I'm not making that up. It actually happened.
Oh, that's a nice car.
It is a nice car, isn't it?
That's real nice. What club did that car go to?
That's the father's mustache car.
Is that Rosie
Yeah, but
before it got
Is it
painted?
really? Whoa.
That's
What club
Rosie.
was it in?
I went down to Florida to get that. They make where they make all these duplicates of older cars. It's a very light car, the Mustang engine in it.
Oh
It
my.
got sent up. I just didn't get around to getting all the wording put on it right away.
That thing had a V8. That thing had a Mustang V8 engine in it. My
Yeah.
goodness.
That's
Whoa.
a nice car.
Whoa, really?
And the woman in it is Carlita. Carol's her real name, but I call her Carlita. She's from Nebraska.
Yeah, you told us a story about her once. She traveled around with you for a while, didn't she?
Yeah, actually, I met her in Mexico on Puerto Escondido on the beach, and she was traveling with some other people, and we just started talking. She was an attractive young lady. I said, "Hey, I'd like to take some pictures of you." She said, "Sure." So we went down to the beach, just the two of us. I had this bandana. I said, "Put this bandana around your head." Next thing I know, that's all she was wearing. So, so I sort of liked her, and she went back to Nebraska. I went back to New Orleans, and then I called her. So why don't you come down and hang out in New Orleans with me for a while? And she did. She had a good heart, a good person.
Okay, one more.
All right.
See what this is. Tim Shea, Mike, Fred,
No, Bruce.
Bruce O'Neill, Fred,
Yeah.
and Fred.
And then Fred.
And that's Barry's shoulder there.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
you can
It's
tell
got to be your
shirt.
Yeah, that's me, my shoulder.
elbowing in.
Call on Timmy Shea.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
how big he is, Barry. He wasn't like that in New York.
He's a judge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Florida, a federal judge.
Federal judge.
Yeah.
Huh. That was a good party. That
Yeah.
weekend. There.
Yeah, that was a great time.
Where was that one?
I think that
Was
was
Carnegie
opening
Hall?
night in Carnegie when we came in.
Yeah, that's the Holiday Inn there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the hotel we stayed at.
Oh, yeah, sure. I see it now.
Mhm. No, that was amazing.
I wish I
Right.
knew you guys then. It would have been a little different for me, but that's okay.
Yeah, we feel the same way.
Yeah, we had a pretty good New Orleans contingent there.
Yeah, there was. There really was.
Yeah, I did not work at any of the other clubs, so I didn't know anybody except the ones that worked in New Orleans. So
It was a big family.
Yeah.
And it was sort of cool because a musician or a waiter or bartender wanted to go to one of our other clubs in another city, they're always welcome in, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Well, they
you
know the routine already, Raj.
Got another one, Tom.
Yeah, the formula was consistent. Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
yeah.
and it worked.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
another
bet.
one, Tom.
You bet.
Mhm.
What is that song called Time in a Bottle?
Jim
Yeah.
Croce,
Yeah.
yeah,
I wish I could capture all I can get inside the bottle.
yeah. Yeah, I guess if things had been different, but when I was working at the Mustache, I was already married with a kid. I couldn't just travel from club to club. I was just trying to get out of college. Yeah, so.
Well, most of the waiters didn't go to club, did they?
No.
But they could
We
have.
had-
You
We
know,
had a couple come up to Denver. We called them, I forget what we called them.
scabs.
Dan Richardson was one of
Yeah.
them.
I think he
And,
died in a swimming accident on the Mississippi River years ago.
Mhm.
Jim
It was with
Fowler.
John Montgomery or something.
Jim Fowler, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny
Yeah,
Fowler
a
worked in New
Volkswagen bus.
Orleans.
Danny Richardson was a photographer up in
Yeah.
Natchez, and he was out with his family having a picnic out on with the boat out on the river. He got stuck. He got off, and he was on a sandbar, and the sandbar ate him. Man, just boom,
Yeah.
gone. Anyway,
Isn't dead?
yeah,
Wow.
never found him.
Well, the river can change those sandbars in a heartbeat. You
Oh,
know?
I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, people don't understand that, they're not around water a lot.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is they're the only two waiters I know of that traveled
Mhm.
from New Orleans up to Denver.
Oh,
Well, Kent and I went up to Denver, but we stayed with Mike for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and there was a guy from England. I can't remember his name. He's a goofy little guy, and a few others, but not too many came up to Denver, Mike.
yeah.
Didn't Ken
Well, Denver
work
was
Yeah.
up at Vale at the Holiday Inn for a while? Tom?
Do what?
Wake up. Didn't Ken McBride work up in Vale at the Holiday Inn for a while?
If he did, I'm not aware of it. I know his history
No,
pretty
he
well.
worked at Houlihan's, didn't he?
In New Orleans.
He was brought up to Denver in '77 to
Yeah, he worked at
get
Houlihan's.
Houlihan's open.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he went on to work in the restaurant business for quite a while in Denver and Boulder and do other things. He got into Crystals in Arkansas for a while and other things, but whether he ever worked in Vail or not, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he did because I went up there after Mardi Gras
Could be.
just to relax. And
He was real involved in a restaurant chain in Boulder, a really popular place
was
in
be-
Boulder for a long
that was
time.
before Vail become a extremely high end for movie stars and actors and everything.
Well, I used to ski Vail when it was $6 and $7 a day in the '60s.
Yeah, it's a Vail and not go over to.
now you can't get a cup of coffee for that, Mike.
No, certainly
Hey
not.
guys, I gotta head out.
Me
Good
too,
night.
Mike.
Take care,
Good to see
Mike.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Nice
See
to
everybody.
see you, man.
Good to see
See y'all
all of you.
next
Tom.
week.
we'll see you
Thanks,
next
Jimmy.
week. I'll
Next
send this
Thursday.
thing out
Sounds
Tuesday.
good.
All right, bye, guys.
Take